So this is going to be another quick vlog on just the sheer number of EVs coming into town. Like today I am on the Dongfeng Nami 01. I'm taking it out for a review. I'll probably have posted this review by the time this vlog is out. Usually my vlogs are weeks and months behind my reviews. And I am at this point just like in awe of the sheer number of new brands, new four-wheeler brands that are being launched after the car exhibition NADA in late September. There are so many new brands out. There are so many new models out. I don't think Nepal has ever seen a time as precedented as this, where there are just new models rolling out one after the other, not to mention new companies coming in one after the others. You need to remember that a lot of these new companies are coming in via the same importers. We do have a law that states a car company can't directly open a showroom. They need to come via an importer into the country. So if Toyota wants to come into Nepal, they have to set up base via a registered importer in the country. They can't just open shop and start selling Corollas and Camrys and RAV4s right out of the get-go. And luckily, all these new brands, these companies, Chinese EVs, they're coming via established, well-known importers that have also imported ICE. So a lot of economies of scale come into play, where they already have set manpower, resources, like workshops and everything in the country that have already been established, that can be carried over and used for electric vehicles too. Yes, the motor train is completely different, the system is completely different, but it is a vehicle at the end of the day, and so a lot of equipment can be used here and there. And that was weird. There was this couple posing in front of a scooter in the middle of the road on a highway. Come on, man, Nepali people, have more common sense. Don't do something that stupid. Anyway, at NADA, it was literally one new car brand after another. This also being one of those. It was launched right before the exhibition, but it was one of those eye-catchy showstoppers that had a big traffic volume passing by this stall. Everyone wanted to check it out because this was being offered for like a very mouth-watery price of 35 lakhs, full option version that had a bigger battery, gave almost 100 kilometers more than the smaller battery version. Is this thing on? Yes. And what more can you ask, honestly, from cars? Chinese EV cars are just jam-packed with features, and also the level of refinement on these cars, even if they're from China. I know we have this preconception that they're really not good cars, they're cheap cars, they break down easily, but that was 10 years ago. 10 years into the future now, in 2024, these cars are outselling their established German, American, Japanese counterparts. Why? Because they're offering more bang for a buck in most of their vehicles. Range-wise too, they've caught up with a lot of range in terms of dough. Side lights din sa yaar. And then anyway, I don't know, this guy was just giving me the headlights non-stop, so I decided just let him pass by. I don't know why Nepali people do this. There's this constant need to be at the front. For what exactly? Like, he's not even going that fast. He's like literally in front of me. I expect, the way he was giving me a high beam flicker, I was expecting him to like hit 70, 80 and go far ahead. He's right there. I've been traveling at 35, 40, 50 even, recording this vlog. I don't get people's problems. Like, why? Anyway, what I meant to say is just, yeah, Chinese vehicles offer that. And because there are just so many new vehicles in town now, I'm honestly not understanding how big the projected market size of Nepal is, but then also what sort of demand they are expecting people to consume, I guess. I just hope that there isn't a situation where demand is over projected and supply is brought accordingly, like a huge amount of cars, via the astronomical number of bookings we saw at the show. Like this car, I think, saw well over 500 bookings at the exhibition, and one that signals that people have a big appetite for EV cars, especially when they are at a very price sensitive point, a good attractive price point with a lot of features. But two, I also want to put the caveat out that this is a very unprecedented time where there is this much of volume of demand, because when people shift from internal combustion engine ICEs to EVs, then they have to completely go into a new category of vehicles. There is no, at least in 2024, established secondary EV market yet. I'm sure in the next 4 years there will be. A lot of these first-hand buyers today in 24 will want to change to better vehicles, cars will break down, whatever. That's a whole different vlog rant. But right now, because everyone needs to make that shift into this new vehicle type, everyone has to start off by buying a new vehicle, which I really feel is a reason why all these initial bookings and just new number of vehicles coming into delivery are really over the top, maybe even inflated. There have been all sort of newses coming out where the same person goes and books 5 different vehicles in 5 different companies, because they're all refundable amounts and they're not really in large amounts that you can't afford to pay. Cars can be booked for anywhere between 5,000 to 20,000, and as a result, what happens is that a person can easily afford to do all of this. Why isn't this guy giving his side light if he was going? Oh my god, people are so annoying. This guy in front was literally trying to make a right turn without giving a side. How would I know? I can't read this guy's mind, can I? Use your side lights, people, please. Anyway, and back to the fact about EVs. Yeah, Chinese EVs are entering in record numbers, and my now question about all of this, and it has nothing to do with the car I'm in, let me get that out, is basically all these different brands coming in, well-established brands, but also startup brands. Who's going to do the quality check of these new brands that are coming in? Everyone's going to sell their car saying, hey, it's top notch, you don't get a car better than this out in the market at this price point with these features in this segment, whatever. But the thing is, China has over, I think, 300-400 startup EV brands, because in China the government heavily subsidized EV cars in the last decade, which is why we have this oversupply in the global market at the moment, honestly. But when each car costing $20,000 is subsidized $7,000-8,000 for a customer to buy, as well as more subsidies and tax breaks for the company to produce, and all of these leeways given, obviously the profit margins are going to be high and the barriers to entry are going to be even easier for new startups. So you have all these different qualities coming, and naturally all car companies that come up and all startups that start and eventually fail do have the goal and dream of becoming a unicorn, a big multi-million-dollar company at some point, billion even. Even the biggest companies that we know today started off as startups 50, 60, a century ago, depending on the brand. And what I'm really trying to put home is you have all of these startups coming to this country, Nepal, at the moment. So businesses are naturally going to bring them in. There is a good profit margin. There is good demand at the moment. People want EV cars. Like, foot down, I'm at 60, 70. You don't have this level of performance that customers enjoy in any petrol car. But the thing is, like, who in Nepal's side is going to do these quality assurance checks on these cars? Who's going to do the background check of these companies? I know businesses will, obviously, importers not want to bring bad companies in because that will affect their reputation. But again, that is a first player perspective. Isn't there like a tertiary, like non-affiliated company or like institution that would do this? Does the importing government departments background check these companies, these cars being sent to Nepal? Who does that? Because seeing the businesses, the importing houses doing themselves all of these quality checks means there could be a bit of bias. It's not transparent is what I'm trying to say, and ultimately it's the consumer who's going to get the car in the long run, as well as all its pros and drawbacks. So we don't really have like a independent institution for this quality assurance checks. I know it's probably not a topic even thought about at the point, but the way I see new cars coming in, new brands coming in, new models coming in for a market that's like this big, I'm going to be pretty damn confident the annual sales for some of the companies here in town or in the country will probably be the number of sales the same company would make in probably a day, a week, a month, or a quarter in many other bigger international markets. And so, yeah, I'm just thinking about all of this as I like test drive all these different cars. Let me know what you think. I know I'm going to end this abruptly, but I really don't have much more to say on this other than the fact that I've been thinking about it. We'll see how it goes. Time will tell what companies will last, what companies will collapse and fold shop, what companies will prevail, what companies will adapt. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.